Guys, take a look at this beauty. We're going to play around with and trick the resin to create a brilliant effect. Let me explain a little about dried flowers and their relationship with resin. See, I dry these flowers in a dehydrator. That's in an electric oven, following a 2-hour schedule. But different fruits and vegetables dry in their own ways. You should check the methods online. I dried passion fruit and a violet. Something I saw for the first time, I don't know, or pomegranate tangerines, as they call them, in total tangerines, and I dried a club sandwich. Initially, you need 2 hours at a temperature of 45 degrees, after which another 6 hours at a temperature of 60 degrees. If you don't have a dehydrator, you can beautifully dry them on a windowsill between the sheets for baking, parchment paper, or in silicone. But in silicone, it should dry from 3 to 7 days, depending on what you're drying, depending on what you dry. Now for today's project, I will need liquid resin since I am aiming for a soft effect using Panate alcohol ink that I purchased from Art Resin, and we're all set. We know, I hope you all know, that dried flowers are not poured from the first layer. I mean, first you need to pour a thin layer, place down the dried flowers, then only create some effect, or pour over the dried flowers, tint with some other color. But today we will trick the resin, and I want to make you a smoky effect with the center of dried flowers. I will show you how it's done, and if you have a mold like this, which is voluminous, so you can pour inside it, then you can put dried flowers into it, tint them, and they will be perfectly visible. Well, also remember that resin doesn't like humidity very much. It's especially runny. It will show you the amine film, or your effect won't set. Plus the runny resin in volume, like for example, I mixed in this large cup, polymerizes very quickly. So when you work, be mindful of your time, control it. I mixed it well. I will not fully fill this mold to the top. It has a large resin consumption of 680 grams. I will use less. So I mixed 490, well, a 500-gram cup. It's slightly less here, 490 grams. But I need it for this mold. And for this one, I'll first pour some clear resin just as a base to create the center. So look how clever we're being. First, think about how you want to create your center, how you want to design it. I want this from mine. I have this one, this tangerine, remember, yes, with its face, a beautiful face on the other side. Now I want some strawberries. So far everything seems to be going fine because we don't have a full volume of resin, but as soon as I pour the resin now, our dried flowers will start moving, will start to behave unpredictably. So it's better to immediately cover them with stones that are heavy enough so that the dried flowers don't float. Now we'll check. I'm pouring more resin because I want more. And I'll sink it so, well, the pestilence holds, by the way. Now I'll add a little more of it. Here are 3 more stones. Now I need to nail strawberries, eat, and now with the most delicious. Where is my ink? I take the color of sangria. This is such a cocktail, mine beloved. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When you spill it, guys, don't hurry. Carefully watch how they disperse your ink. See how the resin behaves with the ink. Do you need to spill more somewhere else, right? That's where I made more spots. I'm going to mix 30 g of white resin now. For this, I need 28 drops of white ink by 30. Guys, and I don't dye with pigment. I don't dye with dye, just white ink. I want orange strip. Oh yes, what a cool color. I've had some love for these colors lately. Now I take a cup with my white ink and spill the snail around our mold. The center is just a little bit before you rise to the height of your mold. It's literally a gram 20. I have everything. I leave it. Now we are working on the pen. I want to paint the pen with cangreus, so I need to add resin according to the color I want, guys. Look at your own will. I want there to be such a delicious, delicious mulled meat that Yes, so yes, let's start inserting all the elements that you want, that you have planned. In advance, I was just confused about what I wanted. And you can add the rest of the resin to the full volume, to the full height of everything. Remove the bubbles and leave them to polymerize.